Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome to another episode of the Thrift Store Prepper. And what have we got in store for you today in this exciting installment of this ongoing series of videos that absolutely hardly anybody watches. So without no further ado, let's see what we got in our good old Dollarama bag. Well, it's actually nothing from the Dollarama. In fact, it's a discarded coffee pot. Now, this is actually one of two I had outside that I was using as a very large ashtray. But I don't really need two. I'm quite adequate with one, so I have a spare one here. You know, coffee pots are certainly things that you do tend to accumulate and sometimes have lying around the house. So what we're going to be making today is a little space heater or outside fire pit, I guess. I don't know. We'll figure out a title for this for upload purposes. So it's going to be a very simple little thing. We don't got much science or engineering skills required for this particular little project. So as you can see, we've got an empty can and it's a little bit dirty, and I've been using this for some of my outside firelighting firelighters that I made, homemade firelighting testing station, I guess. There we go. I'm stumbling on my words here, but please forgive me. So the next thing we're going to do is toss in a toilet roll, and here we've got a pretty big, thick, chunky one, and again, something people have lying around the house. So around the house, not around the ass, around the house. But you know, it is toilet roll. It does spend a lot of time around the ass. Anyway, so as you can see, it fits quite nicely and snugly in there. So let's have a little aerial view. And that's about it. So we've got another couple of things to go in. And what I got here at the Dollarama, and I'm going to have to zoom out a little bit here, please forgive me, is a very, very large bottle of hand sanitizer. Here we go, hand sanitizer. And it's a 1 litre size, and this was $4. Now, I'm not sure if that's a good price or not for hand sanitizer, but there's a lot of it. And, you know, considering you get these little tiny bottles like this for $1 a piece, I'm guessing that's not a bad way to be buying your hand sanitizer. And you know, if you do have those little tiny bottles that you use that some people carry in their handbags, then you can, you know, just refill them with one of these if you need to. But we're not going to be refilling our used and empty hand sanitizer. I mean, I actually had one around. No, I don't. I was going to demonstrate how you could have done that as a bonus thrift store prepper item, but I've since tossed that out, an empty hand sanitizer bottle. Never mind, back to today's video and this outdoor fire pit micro space heater type thing that we're making. You know, there's a few videos of similar stuff on the internet making things like this. So, you know, this is the thrift store prepper. So we got a thing that's still got some hand sanitizer on it. I was going to try and utilize all of the hand sanitizer, but what we're going to do is just pour this in and over, and it's a little bit thick, so hopefully this will kind of soak in to the toilet roll over time, and maybe we'll give it a little shake and squash that hand sanitizer down. There, that's what we're talking about. That's what we're trying to do. Now, the other thing we're going to throw in before we toss in some more hand sanitizer is some alcohol. Now, this is only 50%, but it is still pretty flammable nonetheless. I'm guessing the higher percentage would be even better, but it is a flammable liquid. So we're going to be throwing it into this as well, and yeah, there we go. So we've got a nice little flammable solution going in here, and this is why you can see that we've got the Dollarama bag as a little bit of a drop mat to ensure that these things do not. So let's actually, you know what we can use to give this a little bit of a stir. I'm gonna mix that around, and we've got a very, 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 very flammable solution going on here. And again, this would be something that could possibly be a homemade napalm. Mixing alcohol and hand sanitizer together certainly would make something that would stick to your enemies if you needed to. So okay, we've still got a little bit of space. Let's get a little bit more of our hand sanitizer going on in here, and we are going to be field testing this after, so there might be a pause in the video and a relocation to the stoop outside my front door, and I might even roll myself a little Mary Jane treat to enjoy while we test this to see if it works. So not sure if we're going to get any more in there, but again, let's give it a little bit of a squishy moving around. Now, we're certainly not going to attempt to light this indoors, because that would be pretty foolish and maybe dangerous and potentially hazardous, although hazardous is pretty much the same as dangerous. But, there you go. We still seem to have quite a lot of space going in here, and yes, we can see now that our good old toilet roll is kind of beginning to swell up and soak up all that flammable goodness. So let's see if we can get a little bit more of this going on. So what we're trying to do is fill this up as much as we can. Let's come and give you a little aerial look what's going on there. And yeah, if any of you have ever seen the movie Apple Pie, the hole in the middle of our toilet roll filled with hand sanitizer might be something teenage boys might be curious to stick their little chapstick in when they're finding out about their bodies. But less said about that, the better. So carry on, let's see if we can get some more of this in there, because we're trying to get this gel up to the rim. And once we do, we will be relocating to the outside for a field test of our little space heater coffee pot fire pit. Now, I'm hoping that this isn't a cardboard coffee pot tin, because if it is, we might have ourselves a bigger fire, and I think possibly it is. Squishing it, it doesn't exactly feel very tinny, although the top feels like tin and the bottom feels like tin. Oh well, we'll find out when we light this little bad boy up. And worst case scenario, we might have a small fire on our hands, so maybe we'll do this on some grass or out the way of anything that can be flammable. Maybe I should have checked that before we did this. So I could continue to get some of this hand sanitizer in there, but for caution's sake, and because we don't exactly want the biggest of infernos going on outside, we're going to pause this for the time being, and we're going to take it outside and maybe see how this works out. And hopefully I might get myself some kind of device that will put out fires in the worst case scenario. So we're going to pause it here, and I'm going to get myself ready to take this to an outside broadcast. See you in a few. So we've got a little bit of a bonus wildlife segment going on here. I don't know if you can see this, but this little bad boy or bad girl crawled out from underneath a brick as I was setting up. She's quite a beaut. Look at that. I don't know if that's a poisonous spider, but I am quite fascinated with insects. And there you can go. Let's see what if we can get her to do something. I don't know if it's poisonous or not. And if any of you, no, there's a little ant going on. So that crawled out from under the pit. Still not quite ready for our outside broadcast yet, but we do have a little bit going on here. So we've got a little platform made. As you can see, I've tossed some stones on top, and hopefully that will regulate the flame. And I'm just going to go inside and spin myself a little something to enjoy while we test this. So again, going to hit you on pause. Let's have a little look at the spider before we do. It's not up to much. Part of me wants to capture this little thing and keep her in a jar, see what she does. But if she's here after the field test, maybe that's what I will do. So hitting the pause button and we'll catch you again in a little while. Alrighty, I spinned myself a little something to enjoy, and we're about to field test. But just to show you that we do take safety seriously, I've got a fire extinguisher just in case the worst happens. So no further ado, let's see if this works or fails. It doesn't look as though it's working. Have we got a flame? No, we've got nothing. Maybe I need a different lighter. We're going to try a different lighter. Does that work? It doesn't seem to be.
Something's going.
Something is going. Yes, we do have a flame. There's definitely something going on. Let's try and light it from the other side. And there's a flame going there, I think. Yeah, there's heat coming off of it. So it is working. Let's just hope it doesn't catch fire completely. Oh yeah, there's definitely some flamage going on there. So hopefully it doesn't catch fire. So let's see what happens. So far so good. Well, there's a little bit of heat coming off, not much yet. Oh, that looks as though something's happening now. Perhaps if we take a rock or two off, it might encourage the flame. Alright, now something's bubbling, I can hear. So let's come and give you a little close-up. Maybe we should have waited until it was dark to see the flame in its full effect, but there's definitely something going on there. And I don't know if or not the...
What are you cooking?
No, I'm making a video. I've made a homemade heater.
I'm not ruining your film.
No, not at all.
Okay. Where's Roger?
He just went inside.
Okay.
Do you want to squeeze pie?
Should I go the other way around?
Squeeze around the back of the camera. There we go. This all adds to the authenticity and the realism of my production.
Hey Roger,
Go on in.
I got these two things. Can I put them back downstairs there?
Whoops, we had a little bit of a mishap there, but we can still see we've got some flame going on, and as of yet, nothing is caught fire in a hazardous way. Sorry for the interruption. My roommate, who was the landlord of the building, had to deal with one of his tenants, and that's who you heard in the background briefly. But you can see that we are outside doing stuff, and there's quite a lot of heat coming off of our little heater here. So give you another little aerial so you can see what we got in the middle. I think that's a leaf that somehow has got in the middle of the flame there, but I took a few of the rocks off because they seem to be stifling the flame. And you can see it's burning quite well, and it's been burning for a good 10-15 minutes, maybe even close to 20 minutes without going out or without dying down too much. And I think you could quite possibly use that to heat up some water, or even do a little bit of cooking if you needed to. And it certainly is giving off enough warmth to take the chill off of not necessarily the most bitter of cold nights, but those nights where there's still a little bit of freshness in the air when we quite haven't got into those balmy, warm nights of summer. As we transition between winter and spring in here in Canada, this is certainly something that will give me a little bit of warmth as I sit out in the evenings enjoying my legal marijuana that is readily available in Canada. So I think we're going to pretty much say this has been a successful field test of our coffee pot space heater, fire pit type thing. So we're going to stop it there. Leave a comment in the section below if you like this video, and we will see you next time. This has been a shit video production for the Thrift Store Prepper, and we'll catch you next time.